What's going on, YouTube? Back in the wood yard, and I got me some white oak and I got some apple to process here. And this is what I call fun wood, the oak anyway, because this is all nice and straight and it's not going to give me too much cut-offs. I can just cut into it and get a lot of rounds. There's a lot of nice long stuff here that's unblemished. I'm going to turn it into my 18-inch logs because I like to do a lot of 18-inch because it means less pieces when you're splitting firewood because the pieces are a little longer. This is what I call fun wood because it's going to be easy to split. This wood just pops open. All right, straight wood is great wood because it's crate wood, meaning this wood goes in the IBC totes and I get full price for this. I get city price for this wood. This is for the customers who just want straight firewood. For a while, for a few years, I used to sell smoker wood as logs and I used to put them to season, but not many people wanted that much of the smoker wood in log form. I sell a lot of the bags of the chunks, like the baseball sized chunks, but it's boom or bust when it comes to customers with the smoker logs. Right? That's more like commercial. Some guys have a big smoker in their backyard, right? Some guys got side business at their house and stuff like that. And yeah, so I got out of the apple and cherry. I used to save that up. If I get enough red oak, then I'll save up the red oak too. And I like to put that to firewood as well, so it's going to deliver when I get what I want to do with it. Sometimes I'll have so much that, you know, I won't mix my crates with different species like I usually do. I might just put oak in one crate. I'll put a lot of oak in the other crates and then put the rest of the different species in the, to finish off those crates. But if I have so much, then I'll start making crates with exclusively oak. And I think because it's a year to till next year, I'm gonna make some of these a little smaller because it's oak. Now, like I said, these are a lot of 18s, so that's gonna be a little extra drying time. I'm trying to make them the same circumference as a regular firewood log, but I wouldn't go too big with this stuff. You never want to go too thin because too thin just burns fast. This one I maybe should have done in 3 instead of 2. Because this one's a little big. Yeah, I'll split this one. This is faster than a splitter. Unless these rounds slow me down. If they just split up nice like that, then it's going to be a lot faster than the machine. Just think how many swings I could do around the tire with the axe compared to roughly what, 14-second cycle time with the log splitter. I split it from this side because it's got the knots on the bottom. Anytime you're splitting wood and you see the knots, put the knots on the other side. Split where the knots aren't. It'll come apart 10 times easier. And to split away from the knot too. The knots are over to this side and I'm going away from them. This one's kind of intersecting right here a little bit. And that's why this is giving me trouble. But the rest of these, they're not going to give me trouble. At least in theory anyway. Yeah. See, look at that. No problem. You just gotta know where to split it. I think I'm gonna cut the inner lip of this tire, the edge that sits inside the rim, and that'll give me an extra 1.5 inches. I can just take a Sawzall and cut it. I've cut plenty of these before, cutting tires off aluminum rims for scrap. So I can probably just get in there on the side and cut through. Any tires, when you cut right through the side, it's no problem. The blade just goes right through like really quick, like butter. So I should be able to cut this edge off, and then it'll help give me some extra room. Because I see like these, I was just squeezing these in here. That's what made me think of that. I don't want to cut on the edge, because then it's just going to be this floppy tire. It might work still if I do that when I think about it. Yeah, I get maybe almost an extra inch if I do that on top of the 3/4 inch that I'll get for the inside lip. I was worried about structural integrity of the tire and this being too floppy, but it'd still probably be okay. So I'll think about that. I'm almost done with these ones that I want to split with the axe. Of course, this stuff is split so easy. Doesn't take long. Actually, should be leaving here soon. It's like 2 a.m. But I'm just determined. I went home to take a nap. I didn't even take a nap. I just thought I had to come back here and take care of this. I wanted to do a whole bunch of cutting over there with the apple. I might do some, because like I said, I'm almost done here. The machine will clean up pretty quick all the ones that are a little bit knotty. So it's probably going to take me another 20-25 minutes to take care of. The problem is a slow process of taking the wood out of here, putting it in the wheelbarrow, and then taking it over to the crates and throwing them in the crates. Then you got to climb up there and you gotta stack them in there. That's what slows me down. Well, this video is going to be over soon. I'd like to get in and do a bunch of cutting on this apple, as I said, but I'm not going to do any splitting. So the cutting to me is like the quick part. The splitting takes longer. So it's all going to be smoker wood as much as I can. I just looked in one of my crates back here, and I don't know if you could see, but these are my smoker wood crates. I have 3, and I actually have some apple in that one. So I was gonna bag this up and let it sit outside for a bit and then take it over to my shop. The small chunks, they dry quickly, but I do have that dry wood over there. So what I'll do is I'll bag that up and then I'll start loading this into that crate. And that crate's gonna be full by the time I get through this. Some of this wood is rotten and some of it's like borderline. Some is just a little too punky to use. I don't know, I find like, you know, when the tree has started the rotting process, it changes color, the heartwood and the sapwood, and it's still good. I use it myself at home. And usually the applewood, it has a nice like light color. Like I'll show you this one here. See this one, it's got the light color, but then they start to turn really dark once they start rotting out. And they are prone to rotting. I've seen plenty of apple trees that will rot, but you still get a lot of good smoker wood out of them, despite the sections that rot. So I'm just gonna get the splitter and I'm gonna at least finish the rest of this white oak. There's a piece here. I'm gonna take this over to the shop. Actually, it's not too bad. It's actually pretty heavy. It's got some density, so maybe this is dry. I'll pop it open, and then there's another piece of that limb hanging off the side of this one here. Okay, all done. Not sure if you caught all the action because the battery ran out on the camera. It was only like 10 minutes of splitting anyway. And I'm left over here with these pieces of the side of the tree, or the other shoot stemming off of it, and it looks pretty rotten on the outside, but it's actually pretty heavy. Now this wood, it's not going to dry by say November, December. So what I do is I try to start like a January, February, March pile, where I have a crate that's sitting there for wood that's going to be dry by then, because the wood will continue to dry through the winter. So this is probably going to be dry by then. The little bit of sun and the warmth that we're going to have for the next, like, I guess about a month is going to help this dry a lot. And then, you know, the slow process going through into winter and through the middle of winter. The middle of winter is actually going to be better off for drying than fall, because the fall is usually pretty damp. So the nice freezing cold, as long as it's really cold out, then that helps the wood dry better in the winter. Even wood that takes less time to dry than oak, if it was in the same situation like this, then I still wouldn't have it to dry for like the next couple months. Any wood that's split now, even if it's rotten a little bit, and it still has a lot of density, it's still not going to be ready in like 2 months. So yeah, like I said, this is going to be like a January, February, March availability for this wood. How much do I have here? I've got about maybe, I got over a face cord here, that's for sure. I have a couple pieces in here that are extremely rotten. They're very light. You can tell there's no density to them. So I'll just keep them for myself. I've been accumulating a lot of rotten stuff that I'm going to use in my wood stove over in my shop. And we don't need the heavy heat in, like, you know, late October, November. So the stuff that has no density, it's just like garbage wood. I'll burn it up. You know, you light the stove for a bit. It gives enough heat that the room will be okay for a good time being. And that's all before the winter, when the real heat comes and then you need the real dense wood. So anyways, guys, thanks again. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and all that good stuff.